Welcome back. You're watching Today. And Senzo Meyiwa's childhood friend Mthokozisi Twala concluded his testimony last week. He was among the people present in the house when the former Bafana captain was shot dead at the home of his then-girlfriend Kelly Khumalo in Vosloorus almost 9 years ago. 5 men are being tried for Meyiwa's murder. Moloko Moloto has been at the High Court in Pretoria following the matter very closely. He joins us very graciously in studio for the very latest, including an update of what transpired last week. And maybe let's start with that. We heard over the course of last week Mthokozisi's account of what happened that fateful day when Senzo Meyiwa was murdered. What is some of the testimony that was heard from him?
Indeed, Mr. Mthokozisi Twala is essentially saying he was there, but he is trying by all means to remove himself from the scuffle that apparently ensued between the gunmen as well as some of the people who were in the house, the scuffle that seemingly led to Senzo Meyiwa being shot. His version, the same version that was put before the court by the first witness, another friend of Senzo Meyiwa's, this is Mr. Tumelo Madlala. They basically are arguing that there were 2 intruders who got into the house, one with a firearm, the other with a knife. And they are saying that they demanded cell phone and money, and we now know that Senzo Meyiwa got shot. But on the other hand, the defense lawyers for the 5 men who are in the dock accused of his murder are essentially saying that it's a lie. There was never an intruder. They basically are saying the people who know exactly who fired the shot and killed Senzo Meyiwa are those who were present in there, and they should tell the truth. So Mthokozisi Twala wrapped up his testimony on Friday, and in the main, there were some contradictions there, of course, throughout his 2-week testimony. In the main, the biggest one is that he is saying that the first person who jumped onto the gunman was Senzo Meyiwa, while we actually heard from the defense lawyers who are saying, for instance, the Ms. Mshololo, who advocate Zandile Mshololo, who is a defense lawyer for accused number 5, is saying that, reading from the statement that had been given to the police by one gentleman called Mlungisi Hlophe, this is the brother-in-law of Senzo Meyiwa, and he is saying that he made a call upon hearing that Senzo Meyiwa had been shot, calling Tumelo Madlala on the very same night Senzo Meyiwa was shot. And apparently Tumelo Madlala gave a completely different version to Mr. Hlophe as compared to what we have been hearing in court, that the 2 intruders got into the house. Maybe let's listen to that particular issue.
I went back inside my car and called Tumelo Madlala.
Yes.
On the said night.
Yes.
26 October 2014, full stop, my lord.
Yes.
I wanted to get the truth of what exactly happened.
Yes.
Tumelo told me that there was a fight in Kelly Khumalo's house. Zandi was fighting with her boyfriend, and Senzo Meyiwa, my lord, was trying to separate the 2.
The contradictions and really just what's come out this week is going to make it a little bit more tough for the state to continue to present what they believe is a strong case, one would assume. But the new week is coming and there will be a new witness taking the stand. What do you know about what's coming up in the coming week?
So the National Prosecuting Authority doesn't want to divulge who the next witness who will take to the witness stand is. Yes. And we are also deriving this suspicion that it's going to be one of the people who were in the house on the day Senzo Meyiwa was killed. One, on the basis that two have already taken to the witness stand. But number two, because the defense lawyers did point out during the testimony, particularly of Mr. Mthokozi Sithwala, that so and so, Zandi Khumalo, will come and say this, Kelly Khumalo will come and say this. And on that note, as I said, Mr. Mthokozi Sithwala says that the first person to charge at the gunman was Senzo Meyiwa. However, we heard from the defense lawyer, I think Mr. Advocate Charles Mnisi, representing one of, I think, accused number 3, if memory serves me well, who says no. The statement from Zandi Twala, who was also present there, is that the first person to charge at the gunman actually was not Senzo Meyiwa, but it was Longwe Twala. So all those contradictions are making it very difficult for the state to convince the court to prove beyond reasonable doubt that indeed the people who killed Senzo Meyiwa are those who are being accused or charged with this matter. Maybe let's listen to Advocate Charles Mnisi there.
She would basically say that there's a suspect who came into the house and he was wielding a firearm in the sitting room where you were seated. Then Longwe jumped towards that suspect and pushed him aside. And Longwe went out of the house.
And then, of course, Moloko, there has been the issue of people concerned about Judge Maumera's conduct in terms of being indecisive or not making decisions at efficient times, according to some stakeholders who've been watching the trial closely, and asking him to step down from these proceedings. What is the latest in that regard?
So this particular presiding officer, along with another one, I think she is based in the South Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg, the Judicial Service Commission recommended that they be suspended. They've written to the president to suspend them, primarily for allegedly sitting on cases that they have heard a few years back. They should have concluded those particular cases. In this particular one, it's not necessarily to say, to my knowledge, that he is being blamed for delaying it. It is more cases that dates back many years ago. And the recommendation is that even if they were to be suspended, they must be allowed to finish cases they are currently sitting on, because presumably it would just be difficult for a new judge to come and listen on into or preside over a case that they did not start with. This may just delay. So whether he is suspended or not, this is not supposed to affect this particular case of or trial of Senzo Meyiwa. So Judge Maumela is certainly going to continue presiding over this case to its end.
Thank you very much for that update. That is reporter Moloko Moloto.